Coach, how's it going?
It's fine.
Uh, Thank you for joining us. We will now begin with an opening statement from Coach and then go to questions. Please use the raise hand function to indicate that you would like to ask a question. And Coach, please go ahead with your opening statement.
Yeah, just a tough ball game in a lot of ways. I don't know if I guess both sides felt like that thing would never end, but it did. We certainly had to contain them, and I thought we did such a good job of that, particularly after the first inning. I thought Kumar was really good. He righted himself and got deep into the ball game. Then after that, Maldonado did a nice job of being able to contain them. He had to pitch out of I think it was second and third, 2 outs when he came in. It became that anyway. We kind of messed around with the ball a little bit, but he did a nice job. Murph certainly was good, and McIlvain after the leadoff double, just containing the runner there. Hitting wise, certainly Gonzalez's 2-run home run in the fourth was. With 2 outs was a big hit, and Carter later on in the game and certainly finishing it up, but just a tough ball game.
All right, we'll go to questions. We'll start with Adam Sparks.
Yeah, Tim, Jason Gonzalez, your number 9 hitter. You've had number 9 hitters come up real big in Omaha before. Tyler Campbell, Julian Infante, Riley Reynolds. How do you make sure players recognize their value in that spot at the bottom of the lineup and perform well?
Well, I think more than anything else, regardless of where they are positioned, it's just staying true to themselves and what they do well, whether they're a skill guy, whether they're a power guy. Gonzo did a nice job of that tonight. I thought he had some very good professional at-bats. He peeled off the breaking ball there, his next to last at bat, but I thought that was a pretty good at bat up until that time. Certainly staying inside the ball and spinning the ball out of the ballpark, that takes a strong man to do that. And at the end, it's just they're positioned in such a way where they have to be in order to try to contain the game themselves. So it's one of those situations that it's basically touching the ball, and that ball just found an area of the field that wasn't covered.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Robbie Weinstein.
Hey, Tim. They entered the game leading the NCAA, I think, in batting average and had 9 hits in 12 innings, which is pretty reasonable. What did you think your whole staff really did so well pretty much all game long after the first?
Well, I think as far as Kumar was concerned, I thought he landed the breaking ball. I thought he was more attacking after the first inning. Those first innings are difficult on any pitcher. First time here. The game as a whole is a very difficult one in this tournament. But I thought Kumar just started landing his pitches. I mean, we only walked 1 hitter, so that says a lot about the pitching staff. I thought they were efficient. Kumar had to be in order to get deep into that ball game, into the 6th. Maldonado was landing his breaking ball, but I thought we elevated the fastball pretty well in certain situations and threw it just off the plate enough to where it ran off their bat.
All right, next up we'll have Chris Lee.
Tim, that was a tough spot there for Chris. He gives up a double as they flip the lineup over and holds him at second. Just talk about the job that he did there in the 12th.
Very good. I thought he contained himself so well and pitched well. That is to me, that's a murderer's row right there. Jacob Berry is just such a special hitter. And he got him to pop up, and then after that, it was the tough strikeout on Bossier, who is an outstanding hitter, and then getting the next out. But that lineup, particularly in the top 4 or 5, is just so devastating. 6, I mean, they're just good. But I thought he just bared down when he had to. That was a tough spot for McIlvain. He come in and Williams hits a double, and then just being able to hold it together. And it's a tough moment for that kid. That'll help him going forward.
All right, next up, Aria Gearson.
Tim, what did you see from, how did it feel to see Jason get those clutch hits today, especially, being a senior, being the 9-hitter and, with everything that he's been through with this program?
Sure. I mean, it's always good to see a good kid come up for your team. Any of them, I'm always happy for him. Jason he's team guy, always has been. Regardless of whether he's in the lineup or out of the lineup, he never changes his personality. He's a phenomenal kid. He'll be one of those guys I'll always be close to. But it's good to see what he did throughout the game. He was just very consistent in his at-bats and his approach. Drew a tough walk in the 7th, before Carter hit that, when Bradfield hit him in. Of course, the home run, and then they hit at the end. So he just had a good night. He had a professional night. Happy for him.
All right, next up, Gentry.
Yeah, Tim, how much confidence do you think the guys take from the fact that you did have so many different guys step up down the stretch to get this done?
Yeah, I think the first game's the toughest game to play, obviously, especially if it's a lot of guys who haven't played before. But to your point, we utilized a bench. We utilized a lot of pitching. It was an expensive game as far as pitching was concerned. But I think anytime you win a game like this where we were in deficit mode several times and had to come back, and then we had to come back later in the game, and then we took a gut punch in the 9th when they tied it up, and then we took another gut punch when we had the bases loaded, 1 out, and couldn't score them. And you could feel they were deflated a little bit, like kids would be. But I thought they hung tough, and the pitching allowed us to do that. If we don't pitch the way we do, then we don't get those moments. But I thought they hung tough. We actually hit the ball pretty well towards the end of the game. I think that 8th inning, we rallied off some good swings. Parker Nolan lined out, Vaz lined out, CJ got the single, but really had nothing to show for it. Then in the other areas, we just weren't able to put the bat on the ball. We kind of chased the moment a little bit too hard. But I think as a whole, anytime you win a game like that in the manner that we did, it wasn't easy. It was long. I think it gives you a certain amount of confidence, as it should.
Teddy Cahill.
You mentioned the pitching being expensive there. What now do you have to get out of Murphy and Maldonado to get them ready for Monday? And just where do you feel like those guys are at?
Yeah, I won't know that. I mean, I think a good recovery day tomorrow. Our strength coach does a good job of that after an outing. But, Luke threw a sizable amount of pitches for a reliever. Maldo did as well. McIlvain was short dose. And we've got other guys, but those, between Murph and Maldonado, those are certainly key pieces. But that's okay. We'll go to another arm and try to get some recovery with Maldonado and Murph. And thank goodness the way the tournament's spaced out a little bit, it gives you a day. So we'll see. We'll just kind of take it day by day.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Next up, we'll be joined by Jason Gonzalez. Same thing. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function. Jason, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right. First question will go to Robbie Weinstein.
Hey, Jason, considering everything you've gone through at Vanderbilt and missing last season, how does it feel to be able to get the walk-off hit in a huge moment like that?
It was great. It's just a dream come true to be here, be in this situation, We've all worked so hard to get to this moment, so it's a pretty special moment.
Was there ever a time where you weren't sure whether you were going to even be back at Vanderbilt and be in position to do something like that?
No, not at all. I knew after last year, I was coming back. I had talked to Corbs over my break, and he was helping me with whatever I needed, and I knew I was coming back to school for sure.
All right, next up we'll go to Adam Sparks.
Yeah, Jason, you're in the number 9 spot. That's not a place where you expect a whole lot of hits to come from. What was your approach when Corbs put you in that spot?
I would have the same approach if he put me any higher in the lineup. You know, I'm just glad I'm in the 9th because I get to see a lot more at bats. I get to see a lot more pitches, and when I get up to the plate, I get to know what the pitcher has and what he can land and not. So I think my approach would be the same if I'm at the bottom, top, middle. Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
Thanks.
All right, and then Chris Lee.
Jason, you're down 1-2 in that last at bat. You're facing a strike thrower. What were you thinking there? Were you thinking were you looking for a certain pitch? Were you looking to put a certain pitch in play in a certain spot? Just walk me through your thought process as you're going through that pitch.
My whole thought process was just try to get a ball over the plate, put the ball in play, and hopefully something good happens out of it. And thankfully, something good happened out of that pitch.
All right, and then next up we'll go to Aria.
Yeah, so he already asked part of my question, but then the home run, your home run in the 6th inning, 5th inning, whichever inning it was. What was your approach to that at bat?
Kind of the same thing. Try to get a ball over the plate. We knew that the opposing pitcher had good stuff, so just try to get a ball over the plate and put the ball in play. That was my game plan, and I was able to do so.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for participating. You can find recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com, and transcripts are available at www.ncaa.com/transcripts. Thank you for joining.